Sup, gigglers?
Gary, fix the Wi-Fi.
Manifest that shit.
We can't be managed. I mean, the day just got away from me.
What is up, my giggly gang?
Oh, that's a good one.
We probably have a lot of daddy gang listening in.
Yeah.
We love daddy gang like our sisters, like our family.
They're a different breed of people.
Whenever I do jokes about choking on stage, the daddy gang is always there to be like, use the belt.
Yeah.
Use the belt.
They're sexual. I'll say that. They're definitely sexual.
Mm-hmm.
But they sent a lot of really nice messages, you know?
Oh my
God.
God.
The gigglers send nice messages, but usually they're drunk.
The gigglers make fun of us.
Yeah, that's what it is. They're like, no, love you so much. What are you wearing?
Which is our relationship, which makes sense. The gigglers are the OGs, but the daddy gang, they sent so many amazing messages to us regarding like female friendship. I cried, they cried.
Yeah, it was a long episode. I didn't listen to the whole thing because I was like, I can't. I'll cry.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't listen to it.
Any of it?
I didn't listen to any of it.
I listened to like the beginning, like the first 15 minutes, and then I was like, I hate my voice.
I trusted like someone would tell me if I needed to know something, but
yeah, I feel like wait, I do the same thing. I'm like, okay, if something's really bad, I'll see it in my DMs. You know,
yeah.
like I'll gauge it that way. And so, but all the DMs were like, oh my God, you guys are so great, like so true. Friendships are.
You were scared for that episode because like Alex didn't really tell us what it was going to be about. I was just like, let's talk about blowjobs. Let's go.
Yeah.
Who knew that you could cry on an episode of Call Her Daddy?
There wasn't one sexual chat.
Which made us uncomfortable.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, Hannah's got this. She's going to talk about choking and like weird sized dicks. And that was it.
We love a curved dick. We don't talk about that enough on this pod. But
we do.
Alex is an incredible interviewer, and we want to thank Alex Cooper for being our friendship therapist. And I think that Alex has been through a lot of friendship stuff herself, especially when it has to do with like entertainment that could be involved and how that can complicate things of the outer world and external voices. So, Daddy Gang, we appreciate you letting us air our dirty laundry.
Yes.
But anyway, thank you so much, everyone who listened to the last Call Her Daddy episode, sending really positive messages when reality TV can be kind of like dark and everyone's, you know, trying to pick sides and hate on someone. So to just have some beautiful positivity really meant the world to us.
Yeah, it did. Because people could be so mean.
I want to know, though, how was Watch What Happens Live?
Watch What Happens Live was really fun. I loved my outfit. And that's really all I cared about. But before that, I actually did Chicks in the Office, their live show. I was like a special surprise guest. But they had Tyler Cameron go out before me.
Okay, I have so many questions. So I was also supposed to go with you.
Yeah.
But I was in Tampa. And you looked so beautiful. Your makeup was so good. Then I saw Tyler C was there. Tell me everything.
Okay, so I sat with him in the green room. He's very nice, very nice. He's like, he's a boy. Like all he talked about was like sports with the guy sitting next to me. And so I didn't really speak to him because I had nothing to add to that conversation. But he was really nice. I don't know where he's from, but if someone said like a farm in Nebraska, I'd be like, yeah. That's where he's from.
I met him once and he was just extremely hot.
Just so hot.
Just like sexual energy.
Alludes from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was just like, well,
we're both taken women, so stop.
Yeah, I'm a taken woman, but yeah, I can appreciate a hot guy. He's hot. Yeah.
You did a live kind of podcast show. Did you feel like it's prepping you for our live podcast show? How do you feel? Did you learn anything?
Yeah, I learned that I'm nervous.
You're not gonna be nervous with me.
There's a lot of logistics that go into it.
Yeah, we don't with logistics.
Here's the other thing, which we're going to have to do for our next show. Their microphones are bedazzled. So like they take their microphones from place to place.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
Elena, can you bedazzle the... She's going to be like, shut the fuck up.
Elena, how good are you with a glue gun?
Okay, I know you were too young for this, but Paris Hilton bedazzled her sidekick, and we want that aesthetic.
Wait, are they too young to know about Paris Hilton's bedazzled flip phones? There's a whole TikTok, like, I think, page that's called Does Gen Z Even Know?
It's so funny because when I'm doing my shows, I like on Gen Zs, and there's never anyone who's like, stop. No one is like, hey, I'm offended. They're all like, yeah, take them down. I'm like, okay, it's not riot.
Because I think Gen Z looks at us and are like, what are these like 30-year-olds talking about?
Wait, happy birthday.
Oh my God, thank you. I turned 29. It was very anticlimactic because 29 is just such a weird age, I feel like. It's just
It's
like,
a
oh,
very weird
you're
age.
almost 30. Like, it's
Yeah,
that.
it's not its own number. It's almost 30.
Justice for 29 because you're still in your 20s. I'm no different than 28, but everyone's like, oh, next year, that'll be a big one. And I'm like, fuck.
What did you do?
Okay, so I'm in South Carolina right now in Craig's house, if you can't tell by literally all the navy blue. And I flew down on my actual birthday, which was like the day after I did Chicks and Watch What Happens. And I didn't want to do anything
Yeah, you
but
probably
lay on the
exhausted.
couch and order Thai food. And he was like, okay, like if that's what you want to do, don't twist my arm. So I literally laid on the couch for like a full 24 hours and just contemplated what I'm going to do at 29.
Do they have good Thai food in South
Yeah,
Carolina?
they do. The bao buns.
Oh, yeah.
You could
they're
literally
cute.
stuff anything in those and I'd eat it.
Yeah, they're adorable.
They
They're like Hufflepuffs of sandwiches.
No, aren't they also so cute?
So cute. Like, I'm obsessed. Paige, I'm in North Carolina right now. We're like
Oh, you are?
neighbors. Yeah, I'm in Raleigh.
Oh my God, look at us in the Carolinas.
I've done like 1, 2, 3, 4. I've done like 6 shows in 4 days. I did Tampa, Orlando, and Raleigh. And I just have to say,
Yeah.
I know we hate on Florida, and by we, I mean everyone.
Yeah.
I think Florida's winning. Florida has palm trees. It's
Yeah.
5 degrees.
That's how I feel when I come here, except it rained literally all weekend here. But a palm tree makes the world of a difference.
Palm trees have main character energy.
They really
I'm
do.
just like, I'm here.
And also everyone that's not from New York who like I talk to and they're like, oh my God, like you live in New York. It's almost Christmas time. So exciting. Like it's so beautiful there. Like, yes, okay, it is. But when I think of Christmas time in New York, I think of slush.
Yeah. In the Ubers.
Oh my God. And everyone's like, oh my God, we have to do like everyone's like tapping their boyfriend like, oh, we have to do like a New York City like December weekend. And all I can
See
think
Rockefeller Center.
Yeah, and all I can think in my head is like, that's my worst fucking nightmare.
But I appreciate seasons. I do appreciate seasons.
I appreciate seasons too, especially because down here they don't have them.
And when I'm depressed, I could blame it on the season. I'll be like, it's fall. Obviously, I'm depressed.
How do you feel about daylight savings?
It's the best holiday in the world.
I agree.
Des was like, wake up. And I'm like, it's 10. He goes, it's 11. And I'm like, even better.
I hate when my mom does that every single year. Like someone will be like, oh, well, it's like 3 o'clock. She goes, but really it's 4. And I'm like, no,
really?
not
if
really.
If we go before that, what was it before that? And before that? It's all socially constructed, Mom.
It's all stupid.
The only problem with dating an older man is he's up and at 'em at 6 a.m. And when he wants me to get up, he will open the blinds.
Are you in an abusive relationship? Because you can talk about it here. We'll be quiet. What time does he fall asleep in comparison to what time he will then wake up that next day?
This is our relationship. We got back from the show last night at midnight. He went straight to bed, but he was tired at 9. He went straight to bed, and then I was on TikTok for an hour and a half.
Yeah, the normal time.
The minimum.
Yeah, literally until that guy pops up that says, hey, you've been scrolling for way too long now. And then I won't know.
Your mental health warning, like TikTok's worried.
Yeah.
But I was so into it. I was like, wait, I want to make some TikToks, but he's asleep. So I was just doing like the lip syncing one. Then I get into bed, and you don't just go to sleep when you get into bed. Then you need to like Instagram scroll.
Yeah.
So then, and by Instagram scroll, I mean I need to look at all my Insta stories, see how they're doing, check Twitter.
Yep.
For the of it.
Yeah, because sometimes like there's something fun on there.
Sometimes something fun. Sometimes I hurt my own feelings. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm like, I could go into a 4-hour death spiral, or I can see something that made me giggle for 2 seconds.
But I'll take the chance at 2 a.m.
Hell yeah. We're being reckless.
No, I'm a literal daredevil in the middle of the night. I'm like, fuck it, let's see.
Yeah, things that you would never look up during the day, you're like...
Never.
Also, I love looking where random celebrities are. I'm like, where is the girl from Harriet the Spy?
Where is she? Well, I will say that she used to be in Gossip Girl.
Yeah. I did look it up, and apparently she's just like had some movies that haven't done that well, but it makes me upset because she was kind of like, she had it going. She was like the Emma Stone of our younger generation.
Okay. She was in an ice skating movie that I really loved on Disney Channel. I don't remember the name, but I loved when that would come on.
Kids these days don't know what a good Disney Channel drop felt like.
No. Like you,
and they don't know the wand. They don't know the wand.
They don't know
and how that slapped.
The Friday, I still remember this. The Friday when the Lindsay Lohan movie came out, Get a Clue. I was prepped, primed, ready. Like I literally sat there all day waiting for that movie to come on. I'll never forget it. I loved all of her outfits. I still go back and like say, what would she wear?
You should. How did we get here? Oh, and then in the morning, he woke up at 5 because it's daylight savings. I woke up at 10. So he had an
overachiever.
But he was running around Raleigh.
Yeah, what does he do?
Oh, lives his best life. Tries coffee, works out.
Yeah.
He lives a full double life.
He could have another girlfriend between the hours of 5 a.m. and 10 a.m. and you'd never know.
I'm his third wife.
We joked about you being his second. Let's be serious. You're his third.
Maybe fourth at this point.
There's definitely a mistress between 5 a.m. and 10 a.m. that you don't even care about.
Men can't function alone for 5 hours.
No, they can't, or something like gets burnt down or broken.
Yeah, they destroy something.
They do. Something goes awry.
How have you been navigating the long distance lifestyle?
The long distance lifestyle, honestly, I feel so selfish when I say this, but thank God Craig is just as fucked up as I am. Mm-hmm. So we end up like realizing that we're saying the same thing to people when they ask about it. We're like, we love it. Mm-hmm. I love not seeing him for like 3 to 4 days, watching my own shows and sleeping in my bed by myself.
Yeah.
And then I felt bad for saying it to people. And then I heard him say it to someone and I was offended. I was like, hold up. You like having 3 days away from me where you can sleep in the bed by yourself? How dare you? How dare you? And he was like, I said, not the problem. Not what we're talking about. Not what I said. We're talking about what you said. So
let's not spin it on me.
Let's not spin this. No, it's actually been really good. I will say I am a professional
flyer.
What?
Airplane flyer.
Yeah, I couldn't think of like a word. Yeah, I know like what time I have to exactly get there. I know like what I'm getting at the food court when I walk in. I know like the Charleston airport, what bathroom I pee in, like what place I get my coffee. I'm TSA pre and
good.
So I literally own LaGuardia.
Once you get your points in order, I'm learning this from Des because he's been traveling his whole life. The point system was wild because then you start getting up to first class just like because of the points.
Yep.
And you could get Delta Sky Club something. I don't know. It gets crazy.
I'm like 10,000 miles or something from being like Delta Silver, which I don't
I'm
think is that
ready.
high up, but like for me, that's a lot. So I'm like
Well-
one of those people that checks their like MQMs on the Delta app and don't know what
Yes.
it means, but
Wait, I just realized something.
mm,
Delta is a multi-level marketing scheme.
yeah, for sure.
It's a cult.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you're going to get to silver. Stay in it. And you're like, I don't know what silver is, but I want it. And I need it.
Delta's a cult.
Delta's a full-on cult.
They all wear the same uniform. Suspicious.
And they use their own little languages. What's an MQM? I don't know.
I don't know, but you feel like you should know, so you just go along with it.
And they send you kind of pushy emails.
Very pushy.
They tell you where to be and when. Controlling.
They start texting you about your gate, and I'm like, I don't remember when I signed up to give you my cell phone number.
Creepy.
Yeah.
And there's definitely a leader.
I will say the guy that sat next to me on this flight had to have had a UTI. I literally almost turned
No.
over and was like, do you have a UTI? Because he
No.
got up every 5 seconds to pee.
No,
I know, I felt
that.
bad for him.
I would have been like, do you want to switch? Because like I'm trying to be in my REM sleep right now.
No, literally. I was like, you get up.
I'm a person's nightmare if you have to pee and I'm in the aisle because I sleep the second we sit down.
Same.
So you either have to climb over me and don't you know when people wake you up, I'm like, oh.
I think it's the rudest thing ever. I'm like,
People
climb
will
over
poke
me.
me.
And you're walking by me because you're trying to get by, but you didn't wake me up, but like your ass is in my face. I think that's more respectful than you tapping me saying
Yep.
you're gonna go to the bathroom. Cool. I don't need a fucking play-by-play of when you're going to the bathroom.
Your bladder is not main character, okay?
Not my concern. Not my
Other
concern.
people need their beauty sleep and mine is 17 hours. My biggest pet peeve though with flights.
Yeah, you've been flying a lot too.
Yeah, when the plane lands, the people who immediately stand up.
Hannah.
Where are you going?
Where are you going?
Where you
Where are
I
you
will be
going?
in the aisle and the person next to me will stand up like as if I should stand up. It's like when someone honks in traffic, it's like, where do you want me to go?
Yeah. Until they open that door, because they gotta put the ramp up to the plane, they gotta open.
No,
the,
even
they're
when the
sitting-
door opens, I'm not standing up until at least 3 people in front of me are getting their bags.
Yeah,
And I'm okay with you standing up because your legs are a little tired, but don't be giving me those eyes.
yeah.
That like we're behind or something.
There's plane etiquette, and not a lot of people have it.
Not a lot of people have it. Also, there's this new thing where like if you have 2 bags and then like a tiny purse, they'll be like, you have to put that purse away in one of the bags. Like you can't have 3 bags. I'm like, this is a tiny purse and it's extremely
This is my personal item that you allow.
Exactly. Because guys, they put theirs in their pockets.
No, they put theirs in that tiny purse. That's what
Yeah,
they
I
do.
have my guide in my purse. Oh, I could go on and on. Do you like getting magazines in airports?
I was just telling this to someone. Someone was like, oh, yeah, like the only place I ever really buy books and read them is in the airport. And I was like, I can confidently tell you, not one time have I gone to the book section of an airport.
With magazines at airports.
Do you? I'm not a huge
That's
like at magazines person.
When I guess because I would travel a lot with tennis when I was younger, so I would get like 17 magazine, learn how to give a blowjob, and
now
then,
do you get bridal magazines? Is that the
oh my god! So some of these magazines, I'm gonna call them all out now. The health magazines are just so annoying. It's like
never picked one up.
all these recipes for like healthy dishes you'd never make, and then like workouts that obviously you're not going to do. You're reading it on a magazine, and then women just talking about how they're glowing because they tried this new shindig, and it's like no one cares.
Yeah, magazines are weird.
But I love the feeling of reading them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it. I don't know. I see what speaks to me. I get like entrepreneur magazines sometimes because I pretend I'm like Barbara Corcoran.
Okay, so you're big in the magazine game.
Oh, I'm huge in the magazine game.
Do you save them?
Once I
Do you
read
save
them,
like you just-
I leave them for the next person.
Oh my god! And you're a philanthropist.
But I have been doing I've been excited about bridal magazines. They're also, these magazines are expensive. It's like $8.
Yeah,
And it's like mostly ads. You would love reading like an Elle or a Vogue, because even the advertisements are like gorgeous, like telling you
just
what's
look at
in
the
with
pictures.
fashion. Yeah.
yeah.
It's basically adult picture books.
It is. Do you ever get bridal magazines and like say like rip out a page and be like, yeah, I'm gonna do that at my wedding, or like I want to remember to
I'll
do that?
grab a photo if I like an aesthetic.
There was a girl on TikTok who made a TikTok about me that was like, a screenshot of my Instagram feed and then was like, this is what I think your wedding would be based on like what your Instagram pictures are. And she did like a whole aesthetic for me.
Were you into it?
I was so into it. I was like, wait, I don't even know if this girl's a wedding planner. I was like, wait, I'm going to save this girl. And in 5 years, when like possibly I trick someone into proposing.
My wedding planner is amazing. And I met her she's a giggler.
No way.
Yeah.
And she DM'd you.
Well, yeah. And she basically was like, I heard about your garage wedding. And she's like, I've planned all these like extravagant things. And I want to do something that's like a little more down to earth. And I was like, come to mama.
Wait, when we used to talk about your garage aesthetic wedding, was this way before you were engaged? Right?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. Called manifesting, guys. But her name is Amanda Savory Events. And I was like, oh my God, amazing. I'd love to work with you. Turns out she did Katie Couric's daughter's wedding.
No
she's
way.
Like the real deal.
Oh
and Katie Couric had like a disco party beforehand. Like it was a crazy event. And I was like, okay, I want that, but like tone down.
Take it down a notch.
Take it down a notch.
Do you call your wedding planner for like, okay, what does a wedding planner do? Like, do they do everything? And like, they just say like, okay, here are the options for like the silverware. You have to pick one. Or is it like bigger thing? Like, what do they do day to day for you?
Well, I can only speak on her. She is a sister, a mother, a family member at this point. Like she sits down and she like just wants to understand you. Like, who are you? And she had me do this whole like manifestation of my wedding of like questions of like not what you want, but like how you want it to feel, because she wants to understand like the main purpose. And then she'll even just like look at all your natural aesthetic to find out like kind of what you naturally gravitate to. And she's so amazing.
Feel? I wouldn't even know the answer to that question.
My vibe I'm going with it is like Brooklyn on the beach. So it's like it's in West Hampton, but it's not, I don't want it to be like stuck up Hamptons vibe. I want it to be like relaxed party. Great speeches. And she kind of sees what you want to prioritize, and then she gives you the lay of the land of like, okay, so we need to fill in this. We need to make these decisions by these dates.
Oh my God. You have to like to organize things to be a wedding planner.
Oh yeah. Like I have full mental breakdowns when it comes to logistics. Like I will do a whole, stand-up tour saying crazy on stage, and then Chase will be like, hey, can you send us this tax form? And I'll have a mental breakdown.
No, taxes this year have really
no, honey, no. We are both so close to going to jail. It's crazy. Whenever a reality person goes to jail, I'm like, yeah, no, we don't know what's going on.
I'm so close to going to jail for my taxes.
That would be such a good reality show, the like Paige in jail. No, Craig's her lawyer. And then me and you are talking.
Craig's like trying to get me out.
You're doing giggly squat across the glass.
Oh my God. All the gigglers are just like holding up signs. Free Paige.
Oh God. Okay. It's time.
It's time. I have too much pent up. I've seen too much of it. We talked about it last week, but like, when we talked about it, I was like, oh my God, they just went to like an amusement park. Not a big deal. Now, Pete and Kim have been seen traipsing around New York. He took her to Staten Island.
I love how they were like a secret dinner. I'm like, I can't go anywhere without seeing this secret dinner.
They're like, this is page 6. Clearly, it's not a secret. Okay. But then also, Kanye then came out and was like, we're not divorced. Like, there are no papers. So technically, if she is banging Pete Davidson, like legally she would be cheating on her husband, but like clearly they're separated. And so like, it's not that big of a deal.
Does that cause issues with divorce proceedings? Like you cheated on me, so I want more money or something?
I would say no.
Because if I was Kim, I'd be like, I don't give a like we're done. Like, oh, paper, also, like, here's a paper.
Two like super, super rich people, like when they get divorced, like, is it like, hey, let's just take back what we originally had? Or like, I mean,
no, it gets up. That's why prenups are such a big deal.
I just think that's so crazy. But the crazy part is how Pete Davidson is getting, well, he came on the scene because he was dating Ariana Grande.
Yep.
Then he started banging Kate Beckinsale. Then he was
Yep.
sleeping with Phoebe from Bridgerton.
Wait, and you're also missing the girl from Maid before Phoebe.
I think that was before. What is her name again?
Quali.
Before Phoebe. Margaret Qualley. Qualley, whatever. Sounds like a
Quail.
duck, but I don't know why. Why do I want to say that name sounds like a duck? Quail. Yeah.
Margaret. What a classy name. Everyone was freaking out that Kim was with Pete. What was your initial reaction to that? Because people were like, how the fuck is Kim with Pete?
The best thing was I saw, like, I don't know if it was like a meme or like a TikTok or something. And they were like, everyone's just being like, Pete, like, obviously has a huge dick. How else is he getting all of these girls? And then someone was like, this poor guy, like, maybe he has a really good personality, and all girls are just like, nah, like that.
And apparently Kate Beckinsale liked that tweet where it's like, is it insane to think that a guy's a good personality? But also coming from someone who knows a lot of male stand-up comedians, welcome to male stand-up comedian world, everyone. It's called These Guys Hook Up with Every Single Girl That's Hot. Like, male stand-ups are just hot.
Do you think it's because he can just make you laugh?
Laughing is an orgasm for your mouth.
I also think it is because his humor is kind of like Dez's a little bit, where like it can be really dark, but they're saying it in a comedic way. So you know that it's okay to laugh. But it does open up like a vulnerability thing. Like, okay, well, we just like laughed about death. So I actually feel a little bit more connected to you. And I feel like that's how and girls like to feel like they've broken down some wall. Like, oh, I like broke that wall down.
Laughing at the same time is intimacy. I saw a TikTok about why she thinks Kim likes Pete. And she's like, think of who she was with. Kanye thinks he's like Jesus. Yeah. Like, he thinks he's God.
No,
I think he said it.
God.
He thinks he knows everything. He was probably a little controlling, allegedly. I don't know. I mean, he did pick out every outfit for her. But anyway.
Could you imagine?
And he's very powerful and talented, and he lets everyone know.
Right.
But then you have someone like Pete Davidson, who is very open that he's a mess. Yeah. Like, he's open that he struggles. He's the kind of guy that comes home and doesn't tell you and mansplain to you like how you should be. He's just joking that he's struggling. So he's like this light energy.
And whether girls like it or not, you always like girls want to like fix you or like help. Like, oh, I could help that. And I feel like Kim is like, she wants to be a lawyer and like justice reform. Like, I feel like she almost sees Pete as like a pet project.
But also, I have to say, Andrew Collins had a very funny tweet. He said, Pete Davidson is 27, tall, funny, rich, loves his mom, and confirmed has a huge penis. Kim Kardashian's 41, has 4 kids, still married to a crazy person, and her dad helped OJ get away with murder. I think Kim would be lucky to date Pete.
Wait, Pete's only 27?
He's a baby.
Oh my God.
And also, like, I'm not trying to age shame. Like, I think I'm like, my 40s are going to be my prime. Okay. I love that she's going down to just be with a guy who's like fun, light, like is in a divorce with Kanye. Like, he's such a nice energy, but I don't want to brag.
Yeah.
But I don't know which episode, did I not say Kim is going to find someone who is going to bring the press.
I remember this.
To outshine all the Kravis. And you were like, no. And I was like,
you're so right. Also, when I think about Pete, I think of him. This is so weird how I have this picture of him in my head. I think of him as someone who accidentally got famous, like by complete accident. Like,
he's relatable.
Like, you know that he has a group of like Staten Island guy friends that are calling him like, yo, like, are you really banging Kim Kardashian?
He came up with these male comics.
Okay.
Des is friends with Pete, like in a like, hey, what's up, dude?
Yeah, like hey, how are you?
They hang out at the Comedy Cellar. And they told me that when he was hanging out with Ariana, they would like go to her big mansion and there would just be like these like dancers with sparkles and like funny cat ears just like dancing horns, like, just like dancing around the apartment. And they would just like smoke weed. Like, this is crazy, dude. He really is down to earth. But I want to know from you, Mary Hill.
Okay.
MGK, Travis, Pete Davidson, go. I know my
Okay.
answers.
MGK, Travis, Pete, Mary Hill. I think I'm marrying Pete.
Okay.
I think I'm
Ooh.
Travis.
Oh.
And I think I'm killing MGK.
Wow.
No, actually, I actually switched that. I think I'm MGK and I'm killing
Yeah.
Travis because whatever MGK is doing to Megan Fox is working. Like she is all about him.
Okay,
So he gets her.
I'm marrying Pete because he's hilarious. I'm MGK because he's tall.
Yeah.
And I'm killing Travis. I just have to say, like, people were shitting on Pete Davidson, and I'm like, Travis Barker?
I date someone who shits on him. And we've gotten into multiple conversations where he's like, how is Pete Davidson on your famous people list? And I'm like, please don't talk about my famous people list. It's private to myself. and
no one gave any hate when she was with Travis Barker, who, like, you know, he's a rock star, whatever.
Yeah.
Not, like, traditionally great looking. Why are we shitting on a single successful 27-year-old guy? Yeah, he's skinny. Yeah, he has mental health issues. So do we all.
I think it's because Pete is closer to their age that they can't, like, Craig, I had to explain to Craig what a famous people list was.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it's a list that if I met any of these people and they wanted to sleep with me, I would be allowed to do it. And it's not cheating.
Naturally, obviously.
Right. And he sat there for like 3 seconds and he looked at me and he goes, but yeah, it is. And I was like, no, it's not, because they're already on my list. And
you're like, everyone on the Yankees.
No, literally, he goes, everyone is on your list. You put all the Hemsworth brothers on your list. And I was like, in case of an emergency.
Also, people have to remember, like, Kim obviously has skyrocketed in fame, but, like, she almost married Chris Humphries.
No, she did marry Chris Humphries for 71 days.
Oh, yeah, she did. But, like, you know who I ship? I ship her and Ray J. I think, first of all, I love Ray J's music. One Wish slapped. And Ray J, like, go full circle.
He was
there from the beginning.
Shooting in the gym. He was there.
Start from the bottom, now we're here.
Literally.
Wait, but do you think they're really a couple?
I don't think they're like, this is my boyfriend, this is my girlfriend. Yeah. I do think that they are sleeping together 1,000%.
I think they hit it off on SNL and they were like, should we? And he was like, yeah, why not?
Yeah, and I think that they just like are having fun. It's funny. I think she happens to be in, I think it's the timing is just kind of working out. Like they don't have to work at it. Like I think she happened to be coming back to New York because she had to do something. And I think he was in, you know, he was like, I'll fly out to LA for a couple of days. Like, cool. Like, I don't think it's as serious. Also, people in press, it's like, oh my God, we saw them out together one time. They must be talking about engagement. You know, like it's not as fast forward, but I think they're definitely sleeping together and definitely hanging out. But I don't think they're like boyfriend, girlfriend.
I went with Des on a roller coaster in Orlando, as one does.
Yeah.
I only did it to get a shot like Pete. We did it a la Pete and Kim. I was like, let's try to get a shot. We held our hands like the same way. I hate roller coasters.
Did you get it?
We got it. We got the shot. We did. But Des like loves roller coasters.
Wait, I love that.
He loves them.
I love that he agreed to that. Really?
He became the littlest excited little boy. They were like asking like who wants to do it, and he like raised his hand, and I'm like, oh my God.
I don't love roller coasters. I'll do them if everyone's doing it because I'm a follower. But I rather do like water rides. Like I'll love any water ride.
I was like, Des, I don't want to do it. And he's like, it's fun. And I was like, it's an experience. And he's like, it's a fun experience. And I was like, I've been working for 6 months to lower my cortisol levels down. And this is just going to eradicate everything I've been working on, all the therapy I've done.
I hate the one. Wait, were you on like where were you?
It was like one of these rides in Orlando that like had a direct fall where you get like your butt leaves the seat because you're like just falling down. And I screamed the whole time. I held his hand so tight, I almost broke it. And afterwards, he's like, wasn't that fun? And I was like, no.
No, it wasn't.
No. And he's like, don't you feel adrenaline? And I'm like, yeah, like I'm going to myself.
I hate the ones where people get in those like harnesses and then they just shoot them.
No. See, this is one of those things like, why are you trying to hurt your own feelings?
I don't have like an adrenaline part of me. Like,
We like adrenaline, but in different things. Like, you want adrenaline, like you walk in a room and everyone's like, look at that girl's outfit.
yeah, that gives me a high. But like when people are like, let's like, would you ever go skydiving? No, no. And people get offended when I say that because they're like, why? It's like it's an experience.
Yeah, it's a bad experience.
And I was like, if there is even a slight chance that I'm going to die,
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. Why
Yeah.
would I want to do that?
And they're like, you die in cars. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's the risk that I'm willing to take because I have to go somewhere. If I don't have to do it.
I don't have to jump out of a plane with you to like experience what it feels like to be free.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not walking to Brooklyn, okay?
right. Have you ever walked in Midtown past 7 p.m.? That's an experience, okay? That's something that I'm
experiences. Have you ever cut your own arm off? You ever done LSD? You ever done crack cocaine? You ever done heroin? That's a crazy experience.
The time when we were like, if you keep your socks on during this game, that's one of my favorite pods.
And then we got all these messages being like, it actually helps your orgasm. And we were like, stop.
Does it?
People are saying it helps your orgasm when you have socks on, but the world is full of a lot of fallacies right now, and I don't even know what to believe.
I also heard that if you sleep with socks on, it helps your sleep.
I also heard that if you don't make up conspiracy theories, people think you're less annoying. Anyway, what's next on your list, Ben?
People are livid. Okay, so a couple of years ago, Chris Pratt married.
Oh my God, I did a deep dive on Twitter on this last night. Continue.
How crazy. What is her name? Catherine Schwarzenegger. She's the daughter of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Maria Shriver.
Mm-hmm.
So they got married a couple years ago. She just gave birth to a daughter. So he did this whole Instagram caption thanking her for giving him like a healthy daughter.
Can you read it out loud?
Yeah.
Because you have to get the nuances of this caption, because every single sentence somehow is weirder than the next and cringe for a different reason. People love Chris Pratt. Love. I mean, he went from being a character on Parks and Rec to being like head of the Guardian of the Galaxy.
I have so much to say about him that
Let's dissect each sentence, because I have to say.
Guys, for real. Look how she's looking at me. I mean, find you somebody that looks at you that way, you know? We met in church. Let's dissect that.
Find someone who looks at her the way she looks at me, basically being like, look how obsessed she is with me.
Okay, I'm going to relate this to our real lives. I got so many DMs because Craig didn't post like an Instagram story of me for my birthday, which I didn't even like actually think about it. And then I kept getting all these DMs and I turned to him on the couch and I was like, I keep getting DMs because you haven't posted for my birthday. And he was like, I know, I do too. Like, are you mad about it? And I was like, no, everyone thinks we're a fake PR like relationship anyway. So like, let's just keep it up. Like, let's keep people guessing or whatever. And he was like, also Paige, like, I've been with you all day. Like, our real life was so much more fun. Like, I feel like if I did like a really long caption for your birthday, like it would look like I didn't like you. And I was like, oh my God, me and Hannah say that all the time. Like, the longer the caption, the more you don't like me. So like, I didn't really even like think about it. So him saying like, find someone that looks at you the way she looks at me, like I don't
cheated.
like it.
I'm just kidding.
No, literally someone's having an affair with the nanny.
If you ever had the urge to write a paragraph about how much you love your significant other, like, why do you need that external validation about you and your significant other? And Craig probably didn't want to post anything about you because then he has to deal with all of people's opinions of that post, and he just wanted to be in the day for a second. And it kind of sucks that you have to live like that, but like...
He was like, maybe later in the weekend I'll post something funny. And I was like, you're not funny though. Okay, next. She's given me an amazing life, a gorgeous, healthy daughter. She chews so loudly that sometimes I put in my earbuds to drown it out, but that's love.
So that was problematic.
That was problematic. A healthy daughter.
Him and Anna Faris had a son that had some...
He was born premature. So he has like health problems because of that. And I think there's like something wrong with his vision and just like things that a premature baby, which are normal things that if you are born early, like the baby will have to deal with. But
yeah. So people took it as like a little dig.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, myself reading it, I thought, ooh, that was a little like before all of the stuff came out that was like saying like that was a dig at her. I initially thought that as well.
Well, because in the context of his life, saying that is a dig.
Right.
And then like trying to be funny immediately about like the chewing and how like that's love, that she's annoying. I'm just like, okay.
She helps me with everything. In return, periodically, I open jars of pickles.
See, he's trying to be funny and he's like missing.
That's the trade. Her heart is pure and belongs to me. My greatest treasure, right next to my Ken Griffey Jr. Upper Deck rookie card, which if you know is saying a lot. Shut up.
Okay. Hearing you read it again makes me realize it's literally just him trying to be funny and missing.
It's her birthday in about 6 weeks. So if you don't get her anything, I'll tell her to look back on this post. Love you, honey. So if I don't get her anything, yeah, like what the heck?
Okay,
here's why I stopped immediately liking him. Immediately. And I didn't like him way before this post.
Oh,
hot take. Anna Faris was at her prime, her height. She just did House Bunny. She was everywhere. She was in the Scream movies. She's a cute little blonde. She's funny,
smart, beautiful, perfect.
She was very famous at the time of him, who I think all he had really done thus far was
Anna Faris.
Literally Anna Faris. So he's not as famous as her. He's pudgy. He's not the Chris Pratt we know.
Clearly not that funny.
Not that funny. They get married. People start to kind of know his name because of her. He then starts getting more and more jobs, more famous jobs. There is a rumor that he cheated on her with Jennifer Lawrence, but I choose not to believe that because I think Jennifer Lawrence is pure. And I don't think she would do that. He starts to get really famous. He gets really in shape. He's hot now. Now he's one of the hot Chris's that we have in our in our world. Other ones are Chris Hemsworth. I mean, the list goes on. I can't think of them right now, but Chris Pine. but there is a list of hot Chris's that are also on my famous people list. So
Chris Stefano.
Yes, he's hot too. So whatever. He's now in his prime. He up and leaves her one day. They have a baby and he just leaves. Now she was there when you were nothing. Now all of a sudden you want to become ultra famous and you're going to leave her.
Anna Faris wrote a book actually, and I don't think I got through it.
I think she was so blindsided by it. Like I think in the book she says like, I thought we were going to have another baby. Like I thought we were good. And I think that's even worse. I think like when a divorce comes from like one day the person just being like, hey, I'm leaving, like I'm not doing this anymore, and there's no like fight or like compromise, like I think that's crazy.
Because it's like you're not trying to work on whatever issue you might have. You're not like fighting for it. You're outies. But fame is complicated, and so he very quickly meets Katherine Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. They got married quick. I think they were only dating or got engaged maybe like after a year.
And you guys, we don't know them. We don't. But we don't like Chris Pratt.
I don't know him, but I don't like him.
People didn't like the caption also because it's all in relation to him. Like he doesn't just speak on her. It's all her in relation to him, how she's looking to him, how she helps him.
Also, all I thought about was like, okay, your son is also going to look back on this post and read it.
But also, what's funny about you forgetting to get your wife a gift when you're a multimillionaire and you're saying she does everything? What's funny about that?
Literally nothing. Get her like a balloon.
Is it like a joke between you guys that you don't do?
Not funny.
Why didn't you give Anna Faris a gift for giving you your first child and liking you when you had a dad bod?
You know who's my new favorite couple is? And I think it's yours too.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say. Do you want to say it at the same time?
1, 2, 3.
Chelsea Handler and Joey Coy.
Yeah.
Did you
They're
see
great.
the tweet? This girl, Rachel Wolfson, she wrote, I don't care what you guys say. Chelsea and Joe are my Kravis.
Yeah. No, they literally are, because I feel like they're so pure in their love.
And they're also not doing these like PR stunts where like Us Weekly takes photos of them at lunch.
Right. Like I also love the narrative of like they're older. And she had a full career. I mean, she still has a full career, but like she focused on her career, and she's like in her 40s, and she says like, I could not be happier that I waited.
And they've been friends forever.
Yeah. I remember him being on
the panel on Chelsea Lately. So like they've always made each other laugh. They've always respected each other. And I guess there was a moment, I'd love to know the details on it, of why they decided to cross the friendship line. But he's also like huge in the Philippines. He's Filipino and he sells out like stadiums.
Oh yeah.
And he's hysterical. His career's doing great, and
I like them together.
It's hot that he wants to be with someone who technically is like a little more successful mainstream than him in the same career, and is still like,
yeah, it's very hot.
It's hot.
Like I don't think guys realize how much we like that. No, literally, Craig is the main character of every situation. Like,
but I kind of like it because me and you, low key, don't always like being the center of attention where we don't want to. So we can both be in a room, and Craig and Des can like literally entertain everyone, and we could sit back, which we're not used to having.
There is nothing more. And I only realized this until I dated people who didn't have this quality.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing more that I love than sitting at like a dinner or in a room or something, and Craig is telling a story, and everyone, like, I've probably already heard the story, and most of the time it is wrong. He is lying about it most of the time. But it's like dramatic, and like he has sound effects, and like
he's like, I broke into the ice, I picked the kid up.
Yeah, like he's telling a story, and people are so into it and like laughing and think it's great. Like, and I'm not even a part of any of it. Like, I'm just a spectator of the story. Like, I love that. Like, I can't imagine what it's like for you to watch Des up on stage.
Oh, it's so hot. But
yeah,
that's why Kim wants to compete. Like, Nikki Glazer talks about how it goes back to like our animalistic tendencies of a guy telling people what to do, leading the
pack.
The pack, leading the pack, and being like, we're gonna go kill that buffalo, and this is how we're gonna do it, and everyone responding, and like Des being up there with the microphone and commanding like the laughter of all these people. It's hot.
Yeah, it's so hot. Like a guy that can walk into a room and just take like total control of it, or people like know that he's there and like has a presence. I'm like, oh, why are my clothes off?
Our engagement party, you remember the one that I didn't invite you to?
Yeah.
So I walked in, it's like it was a close family event of people from Shelter Island. Didn't see Des the entire time.
Yeah.
He was just like making his rounds, like bonding with all of my old family friends. That. Didn't see him till the end when we were like, should we cut a cake? And you take it for granted, but it's hot to feel like someone could be their own person and be confident on their own.
That's like one of my favorite things too. Like Halloween night, I don't think I saw Craig one time.
Because you were blonde and it made him uncomfortable.
It made him extremely uncomfortable.
He was like, I'm cheating. I'm cheating on Paige.
In the eyes. I was like, we can change my name. Like, he's like, I don't like this. Like, stop. Take it off.
Oh my God. Speaking of names, would you ever want to change your kid's last name to your last name?
My kid's last name to my last name?
Like, instead of it being, for example,
my husband,
Conover. Both your kids are Conovers. And Gary doesn't have any sons. And the DeSorbo name's not gonna continue. But you have a son, but it's gonna be Canover.
I don't think I would.
Why?
Why are you gonna?
Well, I saw this thing on TikTok. Oh, I wish I could remember her name because I want to give her credit. If you guys see it, we'll tag her. Basically, she's like, it's like baking a cake, and you get all your ingredients, and you're like, oh, shoot, I'm missing flour. And you go across the hall, and you're like, hey, Steve, can I have some flour? And he's like, sure. And you put the flour in, then you put it in the oven, and you have to stay with it for the 3 hours it's baking, and you're watching it, making sure it's good. Cake comes out, you decorate it, you get everything it needs, and then people are like, it's It's Steve's cake.
Wow. Immediately just got mad.
Immediately want to murder every man I know.
No,
it's kind of wild. Like I'm gonna tear my vagina and to give a baby your last name.
Look, we were actually just talking about this because we were talking about someone famous. I can't even remember who it was, but her husband took her last name. And I was like, there are a few things that are very traditional and archaic, honestly, and actually make no sense that I'd like, though. Like, I'm very excited. The feminist is just coming out of my body. It's pouring out. I'm actually very excited to change my last name one day. Are you changing yours?
No. Even though Bishop is a beautiful name, like Hannah Bishop sounds great.
Hannah Bishop sounds great.
I know it does.
It's very similar to Hannah Berner.
It is. It's the same initials, but also you know how people will do like Berner - Bishop. That's also too confusing. Like I don't want so many syllables in my kid's last name.
Well, that's like
legal jargon.
Legal jargon.
Yeah.
But like, okay, here's an example. It's 2025. Okay. Your kid comes home from school and they're like, "What's up, mom?" And you're like, "Shut up." And then their friends come in and they're like, "Hey, Mrs. Bishop."
I would take it. I'd be like, cool. I don't mind it. But when I'm
they're gonna think that because his
and
last
I'm not
name
offended by that.
Okay.
I'm not offended by that. But I also think about the idea of how the woman's family has to pay for the wedding. It's based on like this dowry that once you're together, he's going to support you your whole life, which like isn't a thing.
I feel like that's slowly changed. Like I can't imagine myself getting married now and me calling my dad and being like,
fork it over. All of it.
It's $25,000 just for flowers. So we'll take that in a check form. Like, I can't imagine saying that to him.
Yeah, times have really changed. So anyway, ladies, just question the system, question why we do what we do, question everything, okay? Question Chris Pratt.
Well, I have a question. Speaking of questions, was there any part of Des that was like, I kind of want you to take my last name, and you were like, no?
Oh, he doesn't care at all, but he does care that we don't do first look. He says he wants the first time he sees me to be walking down the aisle, and I thought that was really cute.
I want that too. And I want us to cry.
So between me and you, he's going to.
Yeah.
He cried today watching a marathon, like people were running, because it reminded him of a time he cheered on a marathon in the past that was really nice for him. And I was like, oh my God, you are the cutest little soul. I can't handle you. So if he doesn't, we're gonna have a problem.
Okay, aren't there times when you're a man, you're just like, you're so annoying, or like you're such a douchebag, and then randomly they'll say one nice sentence or one thing, and you're just like, I'll put you in my pocket, I'll keep you forever, I'm obsessed with you, I love you.
My standards are so low. He says like one cute thing, and I'm like, I'm obsessed with you. When I've been nice all day, and then he does one nice thing, and I'm like, you were perfect, you perfect little baby.
Craig said the other day, don't want him to hear me, we were talking about children, and he was like, I would love to adopt a child one day. Like, I would love to have our own children, but adopt a child. And I looked at him, and I said, I'm gonna squeeze your head off. Like, it was just the sweetest thing. I was like, I would love to do that. And he was like, and just make a child, like change their life. And I was like, okay, now I feel like this is about you again.
Oh my God. Wow. We had so much to cover today, and we have so much to do. We, in 1 week, have a live show in Philly. We'll keep you guys posted on it. It's our first live show. We're a little nervous, but I feel like everyone's going to be blackout. So
yeah, that is honestly, and we're going to be in Philly. Philly people get drunk.
Philly people know how to party.
So like, that is the one thing I'm like, okay, if we mess up a little bit, they're not going to know. They're drunk.
I mean, we mess up this entire pod every time. So the standards are low.
It literally looks like murder goes on behind me.
Des was like, are you going to put a ring light on? Don't you want to look good? And I was like, no. Do you want hot guys sliding my DMs? That's my excuse for looking like every day.
Oh, God.
Anyway, Paige, I love you so much. Everyone, keep an eye out for new tour dates. in the future. And check out our merch at giggly-squad.com. I'm obsessed with it, and we have new merch dropping soon. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Rate, subscribe, review. Swipe the up.